Well, end of day 7 here at Paris, and I tell you, there's a bloke 2 down from me on his seat that is off the bit. He is going nuts, because I reckon up until 2 hours ago, it was a mixed day, but the last 2 hours has been unbelievable. Two-time Olympian world champion James Magnussen, and friend of all things flora and fauna, Crash Craddock. Crash, what about the last couple of hours, mate?
Oh, look, Matty, I think we've got to declare that the last hour and a half is the best hour and a half of Olympic achievement Australia's had this century. 3 gold medals, and it's not just the medals, it's the stories. Cam McEvoy at 30 winning the 50 metres freestyle. Maggie, did it really happen? And obviously you'll be the man for that. Kaylee McKeown winning her 4th gold medal, whose father passed away with brain cancer a few years ago. Extraordinary. And just in the last 20 minutes, Saya Sakakibara, who fell at the last games, and whose brother Kai fell months before those games and never recovered, fully recovered, had brain damage. She wins a BMX gold wearing his number. Now, if there's 3 better stories in the Olympics, come and tell me.
Saya this morning was in the paper, words to the effect of, I will win.
Yeah.
Way to put pressure on yourself and deliver.
Yeah, and I think she's fascinating heritage. She lived on the coast for a while. She went back to Japan and came back to Australia. But the confident new breed of athlete who just attacks the world, and extraordinary story.
Give me 5. From Crash. Hey, Missile Cam McEvoy, what a performance.
So, Matty, Cam debuted at the Olympics in 2012 in London. Come 4 years later, Rio Olympics, he's the red-hot favourite to win the 100 freestyle, crashes out in that event and comes 7th. From there, his career spiralled for the next 5, 6, 7 years. For most people, they thought Cam McEvoy's done, he won't swim on, he's past his best, he's now 30 years of age. He reinvents himself, goes from the 100 back to the 50 metres freestyle, reinvents his training regime, gets a new coach, new strength and conditioning. He's now doing as little as 7 kilometres a week in the swimming pool, where at his peak 100 freestyle times, he was doing 80 kilometres a week in the swimming pool. So he's completely revolutionising the style of training for the 50 freestyle. He comes out here tonight. Now, it's one of the most high-pressure events at Olympic Games, 20 seconds of action, any mistake, and it's over. He gets the fastest reaction time off the block. He pops up first after the breakout, and he has the fastest swim speed in that final, a final littered with talent. We're talking Florent Menadou, Caleb Dressel, Ben Proud, on the biggest stage at 30 years of age, at his 4th Olympic Games. McEvoy finally does it.
And like you said, Florent, who is a French national hero, and we talk about this all the time, the lower the distance, whether it's swimming or athletics, the more strut. And for Florent come out, honestly, he peacocked so much, I was waiting for the feathers to appear, and he delivered. It's interesting you say that. So he was high volume trainer, and he's just scaled it back as he's got older. That might revolutionise training.
I believe it will. I believe it will. And a lot of coaches around the world now are looking at what McEvoy is doing. And this was the final hurdle for him. He won a world title last year in the 50 freestyle. Now this is the last thing. It was the Olympic final that he had to overcome. He's done it, 30 years of age, a great story. I reckon he might go again.
Wow. Wow, that was something.
Interesting suggestion.
Yeah.
Because I guess he's feeling fresher, isn't he?
And sports science too. Yeah. Sports science.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is. Yeah.
A genuine chance for LA. That's fascinating. At 34.
I believe he'll go around again. He says he feels as fresh as ever. He's doing at 1/10 of the workload that he was previously. He's lifting more weights. He's maturing as an athlete. And you know what we've seen here? He's got this. He's finally got the mindset. It's taken till the age of 30, but he's got the mindset now to win on the big stage. So why not go again?
Hey, Crash. Queenslander, we've done it. Being a Queenslander,
we've got to win something this year.
It's a state of mind. You must be proud of Kaylee.
Well, I just think, look, she's, apart from overcoming her father's death, and I spoke to her sister Taylor the other day, and she said, when Dad died, Kaylee could have gone 2 ways. She said, no, I was worried about her. She would go down there and be absolutely shattered and depressed and never recover, or she'd say, stuff you, mate, I'm going to prove something to the world. She goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night. She leaves her food out beside her. She's meticulous. She always does extra training. When Taylor goes to the pool and sees her, she says that if the boss says to her do 8 30-second laps, she does 8:28.
Yeah. Can I just ask you this, though, Maggie, right? So we spoke last night, Leon Marchand, where he swam, won gold, then went away for about an hour, and then swam again. What a challenge it was he delivered. Kaylee swims, she gets gold. I reckon it was 20, 25 minutes she had to go again. Like,
Yeah.
the scheduling was ridiculous, but she qualified.
That one was brutal. The scheduling clearly wasn't expecting an athlete to be finaling in the 200 backstroke and in the semis in the 200 medley. It is an unusual double to do, but that was brutal. And she only just snuck into that final of the 200 IM. Now, Matty, we're at day 6. We've got 7 golds now. Sorry, day 7, 7 golds. This is equal to our most successful Olympics ever in the swimming pool. We need one more over the final 2 days. We've got Ariane in the 800 free, we've got Kaylee in the 200 IM, and then we've got 3 relays to jag one more gold medal, which would probably bury the USA as well on that medal tally.
What do you reckon? What do you think?
I reckon we can do it. So USA have multiple chances at gold. We've got 3 clear of them at the moment. So I reckon they'll pick up at least another 3. So we just need one. I think it could come from Kaylee, but she's got that outside lane. Tonight hurt her a little bit, that backup. Yeah. But what an amazing Olympics for our swimmers.
Now, crash boxing. Let's talk about the controversy firstly. The Taiwanese fighter who has been in the news has beaten a woman from Uzbekistan. The Algerian fighter, again, who's been in the news, fights tomorrow. Tomorrow, all eyes on the world be on this fight.
We say that phrase, all eyes in the world, and normally it's a bit of an overstatement. But Peter Bedell's tweet that he made yesterday...
He wasn't very excited about the fact he got... What's it at the moment?
82 million views from Peter Bedell's tweet of the Italian boxer who was beaten by Caliph from from Algeria. And, Matty, that is the population of Germany. It's as if every person in Germany has read Peter Bedell's tweet.
Every person in Germany knows Peter Bedell.
Oh, that's scary. Bedell representing Australia on the big stage.
But look, on a serious note, Humani, the Hungarian boxer, has released a tweet this afternoon showing a cartoon character completely overshadowing a woman, as if to say, the woman's me and Caliph is the other one. And, you know, that's a really provocative tweet at this stage. She took it down after about 2 hours, but the world had seen it. Donald Trump's tweeting. And literally, this will be one of the most watched sporting events. Like, you think the 100-metre sprint in the men's will be big, Maggie. This will be bigger because this whole situation has become totally inflamed. Maggie?
It's been really interesting the way that the athletes are reacting to this, right? So we spoke about how athletes react to competitors potentially being on performance-enhancing drugs or having been banned in the past or things like that. As an athlete, you have to block it out, focus on your own performance and try to win that race, bout, event, whatever it is. Interestingly for these athletes, so the Algerian fighter, for example, has lost 9 fights. She's not unbeatable, but the Italian quits the fight and says, I'm not going on. Now, another fighter coming up who's about to fight her is basically already using that as an excuse. I find it really interesting. As an athlete, there's one of 2 ways you can approach this environment. You can say, regardless of who I'm fighting, I'm going to put my best foot forward and attempt to win the bout, or you can say, this is hopeless, I'm fighting someone that's an unfair advantage, and throw your hands up.
Really interesting. I actually thought after the Italian fight, it may have been a boycott almost. So it's interesting the Hungarian straight away said, I'm going to get in the ring and take on the challenge. What about the person that
goes on and beats this Algerian or beats the Taiwanese? Then they become the story of the Olympics. What an opportunity for those athletes. But it seems at the moment they're seeing it more as a hurdle than an opportunity.
Now, you were at the fight today. Terumuana Jr., he fought the Uzbeki. He was a clever fighter, Uzbekistan fighter in the heavyweights. And he was going, he looked good, Terumuana early on, but just faded in the third.
He did, and it was a bit of a rope-a-dope thing where the great Uzbeki stood back and just said, come on, have a few slots. And you could just see him tire in the third round, Terumuana. But I've got to say this, it was a dignified performance. You know, like he was up against a class opponent who was expected to win the division.
He was a good fighter.
And he hung in there. And I love his attitude. He was smiling after the fight. He was complimentary to the victor. He had a bit of he's been bopping around the village carrying his Cook Islands flag in his bag. I think he's going to be big in Australian boxing as a personality and a boxer. And he's a little bit, he's from, born in Western Sydney, up to Queensland, he's both states.
I tell you what, it's been a great Olympics for Western Sydney. I mean, Jess Fox, Penrith girl, it's fantastic, mate. Panthers going for 4 in a row. It's all happens. It's the place to be. Crash, mate, is always great to have you on. I love working with you. You're a great character, mate.
Oh, thanks. And keep up the great work, lads. This show's been a bit of a sensation, I hear. Is that right? Have any talk
It's just what we do.
Any talk of a pay increase?
We'll speak to the bosses.
What do you think? Good on you, Crash. Thanks, mate.
I think I heard some coins rattling. Thanks a lot.
Right, it's time to talk athletics. We're going to bring in a bloke who, well, so far this trip he's had many nicknames. One was the Duke of Defeat, but it all changed last night when he struck goal for the first time and we yelled out, "You broke the drought," simultaneously.
Well,
it just, thunderstorms hit, Rudy.
Well, it felt like in some respects it came back today, Matty, because it wasn't a great day at the athletics. There were some good stories, there were some bad ones too.
Bree Masters, though.
Amazing. Bree Masters, no, I don't even think Bree thought she would make the semi-finals of the 100 metres. But she got drawn in the lane beside Sha'Carri Richardson, the superstar of sprinting in this country, and she's rooming with Tori Lewis. Now, Tori Lewis beat Sha'Carri Richardson in a Diamond League earlier this year over 200 metres. So Bree gets up this morning, there's a note on a dresser because Tori's still asleep, and it says, "You've earned this, go out and show the world, beat Sha'Carri Richardson." Now, she didn't beat her, she came third. But I got her in the semi-finals. It was an amazing performance by her, and a great sort of... That was the high on the athletic. Well, that and Claudia Hollingsworth in the 800, and obviously the high jumpers. They were the highs today. So there were a lot of good things. A few setbacks too, though, Matty. But the high jumpers as well, Matty. They were, look, they're gold medal contenders. I mean, Mahuchik, who's the world champion, world record holder. She's the short price favourite. But if she stumbles, Nicola Olleslagers and Eleanor Patterson, they're right there on her tail and potentially could beat her for a medal as well. And they cruised through the qualifying today, and they're in the final in a couple of days. So some good signs.
How does this 100 metres qualifying work? So they race today, but they're not racing again tonight?
No, they race tomorrow. So they have semis and finals tomorrow night. Sha'Carri will run obviously tomorrow night and probably win it tomorrow night. And the men actually start tomorrow as well. The men run their heats tomorrow. So we'll see Noah Lyles in action tomorrow, Keishane Thompson, those sort of guys. So it's something to look forward to. Rowan Browning's running, the flying mullet, although Rowan, I think, shaved his mullet off now.
Oh, no.
So he's not
really?
the flying mullet anymore, yeah. Actually, it's grown back a little bit, actually, but it's not full mullet.
He obviously doesn't know
It's a
the
half
story about
mullet.
Samson and Delilah.
It's a bit like that because he struggled a bit this year, Rowan, ever since the mullet went.
But what about that? The 100 and the 200 tomorrow it starts, right? And in the men, it's very much USA versus USA with Noah. Tell us about when Noah Lyles walked into the Olympic Village.
Yeah, he did a press conference earlier this week, Matty, and he walked in, and if you know, he's obviously a charismatic guy, right? People who watch Sprinter know what Noah Lyles is like. He's walked in, he's gone, "Here comes the champ." It's funny, Grant Holloway was behind him, he's the 110 hurdles guy, and he's unbelievable, and he's gone, "Champs."
That's good.
But Noah's great value.
And the women, the one, it's USA versus Jamaica, which is just, it's
But
enormous.
Sha'Carri looked good today. She cruised in her heat in the heats early on. So I mean, I think she's the favourite, and I expect her to win it, Matty. So, but as I said, good signs of Bree Masters. Can I take it to the negative of the day, Matty? With the Black Widow reared its head again.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the 1500. Look, we've got some good 1500 metres runners, mainly Ollie Hoare, who we thought might get in the final. And there's a couple of sort of phases of this, Matty. So him, Stewie McSwain and Adam Spencer all ran the 1500 heats. None of them made the automatic qualification for the final. But the interesting thing is, Matty, they have a repechage now. So everyone who loses, they go into a repechage and they get the chance to run again to make the final. So
It's like when you're a kid and you come fifth and they gave you the badge, "I'm a good sport."
And it's not just in the 1500, they do it in I think the 800 as well, because Claudia Hollingsworth, the 19-year-old, only finished school last year. She went straight through to the semis in the 800, but Katrina Bissett and Abby Caldwell missed out. But they go on the repechage.
How many from
they
the
get another chance.
repechage into the final?
It's 3 in each repechage, so it's 6. So it's pretty cutthroat, but yeah, it's like under sixes, Matty. Yeah. Everyone gets a prize.
Yeah. Basketball, tell you what, we're lucky today.
It's a great game.
So we played Greece. We lost the game 77-71. We couldn't lose by more than 9. We surged late to get in there. The Greek freak Giannis, carved us up. So from there, I mean, now there's a strong possibility we face the dream team shortly, which would be. Which
How
I
good
think
would
is
that
great.
be?
I'll tell you what. This is the thing, right? I don't think a lot of our sports. So watching the basketball side, I don't think they deal with favouritism well. Yeah. I think they like the bump and grind and scratch with that underdog mentality.
I still remember Shane Hill going up against the Dream Team all those years ago, and he got up in Charles Barkley, I think's face.
Yeah, he did.
And
drove
him
Barkley wanted
insane.
to kill him.
He did.
I interviewed Brian Goorjian 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I said, righto, you come up against the Dream Team. How do you beat them? And he said, we beat them with Australian spirit and the way we beat anyone. He said, we fight for every ball, and we said we upset them and we drive them mad. And
they'd love that chance. I mean, you know what it's like, Maggie, when you're the underdog. Well, you were probably never the underdog, right? But the rest of us were. We know what it's like. You're up against the big guns, and it brings something out in you. And particularly, I reckon Aussies, we love that underdog spirit. We love a stoush.
Now, talking about good stories, the water polo, the women's water polo team, the Stingrays, they've been fantastic. Epic win over the Netherlands. They had a win over Canada. The man of the match, the player of the match was Bronte Halligan. She got a hat trick of goals.
You were going to go and watch her yesterday, weren't you?
Yes, and you dragged me off to the Roland Garros.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry that you saw Novak Djokovic in the flesh. Sorry. And then you gave it to the Czechoslovakian bloke as well while we were there. Anyway,
yeah. We found ourselves actually sitting. Saw these spare seats, and we said, we'll just go and sit there. It was packed. And we found ourselves sitting with the families. And he was looking over at us going, who are these blokes? We thought, we better start cheering him. So, back yourself, son. Bronte, hat-trick of goals. For people like the Halligan name, she's the daughter of the great Darryl Halligan, of course, in North Sydney, New Zealand, and of course Canterbury Bankstown, and Tilly Kearns is in the side, as daughter of the great Phil Kearns. So really great story.
Was Darryl here? Do you know? Was Darryl?
I don't know.
Oh, he would have been. He would have been for sure.
He's a hell of a player, man.
Oh, wasn't he a great player? Yeah,
obviously got good genes too.
Yeah, I know he has. Yeah, and Levi's. Appreciate. Good on you. Congratulations, mate.
Go find yourself a feed, Reedy.
Well, that's the other thing, people.
You know what? I'd love to see the
This
curse.
guy's got a tapeworm.
I'd love to see the curse get Noah Lyles in the next couple of days. And Shikari. I'd like to bring them both down.
I've never seen someone eat like you. They'd say the most mouth-obsessed creature in the world is the horse. You beat it.
I got a story about that. Because, Maggie told us about that steak joint he went to the other day where they just keep filling your plate up. Went there today.
How was it?
Fantastic.
What are you going to eat?
Mate, so many flips. It was unbelievable.
Oh, very, very good. Good on you, Reedy. You got yourself a cheeseburger, mate.
Thank you.
Supersize it. Well, we welcome Hannah Hollis, Fox League. Hannah, you come with good news.
I do. Oh, guys, I've just arrived from Roland Garros, and it is not only beautiful out there, but I have some good news for the Australians because our men's doubles, Matt Ebson and John Peers, they are through to their gold medal match.
Oh, it's awesome. Good.
But you know who was in action beforehand? Novak Djokovic. Tell you what, the crowd didn't love him. The crowd were behind the Italian Lorenzo Musetti, but when he won, Matty, he actually dropped to his knees, the Joker did, burst into tears, wiping it away. He spent the match whinging to the umpire. He had 2 serving violations. He was limping on that knee, but now he is through to his very first Olympic gold medal final against Carlos Alcaraz.
I don't know if you know, but Reedy told me the other day he reckons he can get him, and he was serious.
Yeah.
He's there. He's
delusional.
I thought that. I was sitting in my seat going, Brent Reed has no idea.
Now, me and Maggie have just been doing a loop around one sort of area of Paris. You've been all over the city. Yeah. What's the vibe like?
It's beautiful. So I think Paris is a destination any day of the week, any month of the year. But then when the Olympics come to town, given how special that is, and the furore that comes with it, the city's come to life. We have been everywhere, and everyone is so nice. Like, I've not met a rude French person, and I feel like their stereotype.
You haven't.
I can't help but feel like that's because of how you look compared to how we look.
That's right.
Me and Matty have met plenty of the bastards.
Yes. Have you been to Paris before, by the way? Have you?
Yeah. You know what, Matty? It was actually exactly to the day 10 years ago. I just finished working on the 2014 World Cup.
Yeah.
And then I came to Paris, and you know how your phone generates memories for you?
Yeah.
To this day, exactly, I was in Paris.
Mr. 82 million tweets, I asked him the other day, I said to Pete Bedell, have you been to Paris before? And he went, oh, yeah, Matty, I came here on a Kentucky tour. I said, oh, well, you must have been 18 or 19. He said, no, I was 34. He made the Kentucky tour by a month.
Yeah.
You know the good thing? Do you know one of the good things here is just an appreciation for sports. You'd never watch. Like I watched the ping pong, and it was awesome. It was incredible.
When I was at Roland Garros earlier, you know you can't get alcohol there.
Yeah, no, we did know that.
So I didn't know that, and I arrived. I was so excited for a beautiful glass of French champagne, watching the tennis, watching Novak Djokovic, my first major that I've got to see in real life, and I had to settle for a soft drink.
What other sports you got to see in the next week?
Well, I've seen to the gymnastics, I've seen some swimming, I've gone to the beach volleyball and the skateboarding. Desperate to get some athletics, bit of a high jumper in my former life.
Were you?
Yes,
Crosby
I was.
flopper.
Well, fair dinkum.
Yeah.
I was the old Gary Honey, triple jumper. Come on, Honey, hit that board and go! That's too long ago for you guys. But having a great time. It's good to be here, isn't it?
It's magnificent. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Yes. Well, what have we got planned tonight? What are we going to do?
I think we need to find Brent Reed some food because, as we know, he's got worms.
He's got a tapeworm like on the side of his fist sitting in his guts. But yeah, no, it really has been. It's been fantastic. We're going to look to go out tomorrow to the athletics nice and early.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Yep. Good on you, Hannah. Good on you, Missile.
Thank you.
Good on you, Matty.
Au revoir.
See you tomorrow.